I was a war baby, born in 1942, as my father served in the Army and my mother worked in a war factory in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Ardmore is a few miles outside Philadelphia. There are really two towns, one for the rich and the one for the people who service the rich. That's the one I grew up in, right here, at 215 Simpson Road.
I had the good fortune of having a big family, a big loving family, a big family that fought like dogs sometimes but loved each other just as fiercely.
They loved especially what Pop called youngins. Pop was my grandfather. He ran things around here. Mom was my grandmother. She ran him. Together, they had 16 kids, and their kids had kids. I was an only child, but I didn't know that until I had grown up. There were always youngins around this house. I went to school at Ardmore Elementary School. My father and all 15 of my aunts and uncles went there. School's been gone for 30 years now, but my favorite spot in town is still around.
This is it, the Ardmore train station. Now imagine, if you will, a 7-year-old boy about that high in 1949 who every single chance he got would come and he would stand right here about 18 inches from the track and stand here in breathless anticipation because sooner or later it would come. What was it? Right around that bend would come not one of these new modern electric, real quiet trains, but one of those great, big, Baldwin, coal-fed steam locomotives. And you see, it was a feeling thing as much as it was a visual thing, because long before you could see the train come around a bend or even see the black smoke coming up out of the stack, you could feel the ground start to tremble beneath your feet. And I'd get so excited because sooner or later, here it would come, and it would be so big and so black and so dirty, and it would be awesome. And the conductor, right about there, he would take his hat off and he'd wave it as he came by. And I would stand here 7 years old, and I'd look up at this big, awesome thing, and I'd think I had died and gone to heaven.
But that stuff was for little kids. As the 50s progressed, so did I, from a little kid to a big kid, and my interests changed. Doo-wop ruled. In the 50s, you could pick almost any corner in Ardmore, and that little bit of concrete would be my Apollo Theater. But of course, doo-wop had to share the stage with sports. My other heroes were the greats of the time, Jackie Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson. But not all my memories of that time are warm and fuzzy. When I was 16, I made one of the most embarrassing and expensive mistakes of my young life. This dear lady was part of it. This is Aunt Vivi. She was the only one on the day I got my driver's license who would lend me her car. And on the day Aunt Vivi lent me her car, I wrecked her car. This time, I was sure I was going to die because of the way it happened.
Well, I didn't tell her right away how I wrecked her car, but you remember how I wrecked your car?
Yes, I remember how you wrecked my car. I do.
What did I do?
Somebody told me that
say?
you were playing chicken and you hit a fire plug on Holland Avenue.
But I wasn't chicken. I wrecked the car, but I wasn't chicken.
Aunt Vivi didn't kill me. She just made me pay for the repairs. And I learned a lesson from that. In fact, I learned a lot of other lessons growing up in this town, in this house. I learned how to swim when my father threw me in a pond one day and told me to get out the best way I could. I learned to take care of my own problems when I ran home to my mom and told her Dickie Pendleton beat me up. She made me go face him. I got beat up again. I learned what a blessing it is to sit down at least once each day with a family and eat a meal together, even though I didn't realize it until I had a family of my own and couldn't do it. Mostly, though, I learned the incalculable value of a loving family, the kind that will tear you up if that's what you need, but will never, ever let you down. I learned there is nothing on this earth more precious than that.